Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's time to have a look at the Chinese packs that are on sale. By the way, the starter pack for China is really good. The Stuart and the Tomahawk as well work very good in tandem, so if you're looking to start the Chinese tech tree, that is a definite pickup. The A5C is the first aircraft we're going to have a look at though. This one is very reliant on its armament and also the game mode. I wouldn't recommend this in ground at all, even though it has, CCIP for the bombs. The fact is it doesn't really have great bomb loads and also not a ton of rockets. So using it in something like ground is not really going to work too well. I think it's much better to have a look at other options that are available for China. But in air, this vehicle is incredibly powerful, basically down to two things. The fact that it has access to countermeasures and the fact that it has access to two magic wands. The magics are very powerful IR-guided missiles. You can see here they have a 35G overload and also a long missile guidance time. So anything that doesn't have countermeasures, you can just fire the magic at, and 99 times out of 100, it will just die because it can't get away from it. The A5C as a platform isn't exactly the best. It's quite fast, which is nice for the BR, but it is not really maneuverable. And also there are a lot of aircraft which are better maneuvering than it, and also just better mobility-wise around this BR. But as I said, even though it only has 18 countermeasures, that's easily enough to be able to get away from the vast majority of missiles that will be thrown at you. It does also have an RWR, so you can see when you get targeted, it has the worst guns in the game at the BR for a vehicle. These low velocity 23mm are terrible. So basically what you're getting here is a very fast vehicle which has access to two very good missiles, and therefore you can guarantee 2 kills as long as you shoot at the right targets. So as a grinder in a realistic, it works pretty good. A lot of people have used it very effectively over the years, especially since there's a lot of targets you face which just don't have access to countermeasures. In an up tier, against like 10-7 for example, like America, you are going to struggle, but that's the unfortunate fate for every single jet that is in the game right now. That 10-7 area is super strong, especially for America, so at least you have the magics that can do something for it, and technically you can do the multi-role stuff, but I wouldn't recommend it. Also on sale is the ZTZ96AP. The major difference between this and the standard ZTZ that you see is basically this electro-optical active protection system. This protects against stuff like wire-guided munitions, which you'll never see, so it really doesn't do anything, but at least it looks cool. The vehicle itself, though, compared to standard ZTZ96, is very similar, and as somebody who's ground out the vehicle, it's really fun. The vehicle itself at 10.0 works very nicely. It has a fine reload for the 125, not as good as a lot of other reloads, but the round that it gets access to, the 125, I've found personally it does really well in the situation that it's at. It also has artillery, it has very good thermals, and also ESS and smoke grenades. Mainly the smoke grenades is the thing that is super useful. The transmission is very poor on it, meaning that you can go forward at a good click, but you can't go backwards at a good click. It also technically has the better auto-loading system. Instead of it being instead of it being vertical, it's horizontal. So there is a lot less area where you can actually get ammo racked from, and it does have the 3-man crew. If you actually go hull down, which is basically most of the time where you're fighting with this thing because it's quite low, most of the time it's very hard to one-shot this thing. A lot of people will shoot the breach and they'll take out either the gunner or the commander, and you'll be able to fight on, which is quite good. It also has access to the 12.7mm on the top, and also the additional ERA, the FY4 on it, which is not, something to scoff about. The FY4 actually does give you quite a lot of protection. The only issue is it's in a place where you don't usually get shot anyway. Would be much better if it was here. Let's just say that. But the ZTZ96AP is a good vehicle. I've enjoyed it I've enjoyed its standard tech tree counterpart a lot, and also now with China getting more and more stuff at the higher echelons of the game, it works a hell of a lot better than it used to. Definitely a good pickup if you're looking to grind out ground China. The J7D is also on offer, and it is a rank 7, meaning that you can research the whole of the Chinese tech tree just with it. This vehicle has a lot of air-to-air capabilities for an 11.0 vehicle, and it's mainly based around its IR capabilities though. So if you're looking for something which is a little bit more different, you know, something which has a little bit more capabilities, then this is obviously not it. Something like a Phantom, which has these semi-actives, which has a bunch of other stuff on top of it, is probably the way to go. But for China, this vehicle does get access to all the CCIPs and RPs. It does get an okay radar, but it's nothing compared to some of the other beasts that you're going to see around these BRs. You also just don't have a lot of hard points, only 4 in total, so even if you wanted to use this in ground, you're going to be, you know, struggling with it quite a lot. The PL7, though, basically the Magic one, is a very good missile, even at 11.0. It doesn't get access to any, you know, all-aspect missiles, which kind of sucks, but it does get either the PL5Bs or the PL7s. I really like the PL5Bs as missiles. I think they have a really good time, but of course the Magics are just better than them in pretty much every way, so you just take those. And the countermeasures can keep you alive. It's just you're kind of stuck with one mode of attack with this thing, having to deal with just using the IR missiles and also not all aspect, when there's a bunch of other vehicles that are around these BRs which have way better munitions than you do, which is probably why this one is on sale and the other ones aren't, because it's quite a tougher sell to buy this one compared to the others. But at half price, and also with the fact that China is continuously expanding at its top tier, I don't think it's a bad pickup, and as time goes on, it will become a better and better vehicle because of its, you know, the BR increasing and it being able to dominate with its magics, and also its pretty decent engine and maneuverability. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Brendan Quinn, Vilneus, Character Fuel, Juan the Panda, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Merciless Reaper, Orange Tail, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Moxie, B. Young, Bareen, Peter Grayling, Alan Hacker, Sem Alslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R., and also Lafouche for supporting the channel.